breaking down the nonsense of divine masculine and divine feminine energy. Now, I say nonsense because people say, oh, Kundalini is divine feminine energy. No, it's not. What am I talking about? Okay. Kundalini has two parts to it. It has Shakti, it has Shiva. Now, in the yogic schools and in the yogic philosophy, Shakti is a feminine god. Therefore, Shakti is feminine. Okay, that's part one. However, if we're talking about the cycling of the sun system within the microcosmic orbit, or if we are talking about the sun or fire energy in, let's say, Egyptian terms, that would be the god of Ra, the god of fire, the god of the sun. Not the goddess, the god. The sun cycle is the masculine cycle, which is the same way Shakti flows. So by saying Shakti is feminine energy, we are just talking about dualistic terminology to describe opposites. It's not masculine, it's not feminine. In the West, as soon as we say this is divine masculine energy and this is divine feminine energy, you then come across people talking about, feminine energy is purity and openness and essence, and masculine energy is the controller, it is the destroyer, it is the protector. Let me ask you this, how is protection energy masculine? Oh, because that's the standard programming traits of what we have learned of what man in, and man is the protector of the home. And really? Who is the biggest protector? If we break down the standard dualistic programming of society, who is the biggest protector out there? Who is the biggest defender out there? It is the mother. Way more than the father. It is the mother. So how can this be a masculine energetical trait if it is a total female trait? The Western idea of divine masculine and divine feminine does not coincide with the ideas of the West, of the East, of what masculine and feminine represent. When it comes to either Pingala, and these two channels have to be balanced, one is divine masculine and one is divine feminine. If we talk about either Pingala, we can talk about this in a way that Westerners can understand it. We are a bioelectromagnetical system. So one is the electrical part and the other is the magnetical part. That's it. Is the magnetical part feminine? Well, yes, because magnetical, the moon cycle, feminine, blah, blah, blah. Okay? But then, why is that feminine and the electrical is therefore masculine, but the electrical would then relate back to electricity, fire, heat, sun, but then fire, heat, that's Shakti. Do you see how it doesn't work out? It doesn't work using Western ideas of masculine and feminine. It is not a masculine divinity, it is not a feminine divinity. Because when you break the confinement of duality, the only place you find a difference between masculine and feminine is in the reproductive organs found in some, not all, animals and plants. That's it. When you break the bonds, and obviously all the hormones that goes with those, and then the hormones that turn into possible psychological differences, but yet those psychological differences also come from programming right from a very young age, that if you let children play without those programmings, none of those things actually make sense. It all comes purely from programming. If we take, let's not take Eden Pingala, let's take the microcosmic orbit. You have the forward flow and the backward flow. So as I said, Shakti would be the forward flow, feminine. But that forward flow is the masculine flow within the microcosmic orbit. The feminine flow is the backward flow, which is the lunar. Again, you see how masculine and feminine ideologies just break down. They don't work. We have polarity, not duality, as in forwards and backwards sensations, because we can even say the sensation of the forward flow and the backward flow around the microcosmic orbit are just sensations. Is the energy actually flowing in that direction, or is it just our perception of it? It's much like how electricity flows down an electrical cable. For many years, they said, well, the electron gets shot down and shoots through the cable. It doesn't. Yeah. Science is finally realizing that it's got all to do with the field around that cable, and no electron gets shot from one end to the other. It's just the perspective. It's much like the particle or the wave. When we analyze the particle, it looks like it is moving forwards. Yet is the wave moving forwards, or is it spinning around on itself? What do I mean by this? Because you can say, no, but waves move forward. Yes, when we're talking about a wave in the ocean, but when we're talking about a wave as in to do with electricity, we're talking about a spinning here and a spinning here, which the connection between the two forms the shape of a sine wave. But it's just two things spinning within themselves. So it is a dualistic way to perceive things. When we get beyond the dualistic perspective, because if energy, Shakti, is feminine and consciousness, Shiva, is masculine, when you truly understand what consciousness is, there is no masculinity to consciousness and there is no femininity to consciousness. When we talk about Shakti being feminine, why is it female? Why is it feminine in one philosophy, yet masculine in another? You see how it doesn't make sense. There is divinity. There is electricity or biomagnetical electricity, because there is no electricity without the magnetical part. They are systems. So we can say there is energy. It's not masculine, it's not feminine. It has a direction, it has a flow. It could be electrical, it could be magnetical. We have consciousness. Again, it's not masculine, it's not feminine. Those words and those symbols of Shiva and Shakti being a male god and a female god are just pure representations, metaphorical representations, to show how they are different and formed together from a humanistic point of view. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, excuse me, leave them in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos from me, hit that subscribe button, hit that alert button. And with every video you see from me, this is very important. It is important to interact with the video, whether it's hitting a like, whether it's sharing with someone, whether it's writing a comment, because that way you will get more notifications of when my videos come out. Because these days, even if you are subscribed to a channel, doesn't mean to say you're definitely going to be notified when a video comes out. It doesn't mean to say you're going to see more of my videos. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, it seems, anymore. But if you interact with my videos, you will be shown more of them. New ones, older ones, they will come to your homepage to see them. So if you like my content, make sure you interact with every video you come along with for you to be able to get more of my content. Unless you just go to my channel and watch through all my videos. Because I do get a lot of people, they see one video of mine and they start making all these comments about this one video, and they're like, you haven't said this, and you haven't said that, and you haven't said... It's like, yes, because I cannot put 30 years of study, 30 years of knowledge into every single video I make. I will talk about one specific thing, and I might not put all the details in one video. But if you watch now over 200 videos on my channel, you will come to understand things in a more global perspective. So don't just watch one of my videos and make a comment saying, you haven't said this, you haven't said that. Watch more. So remember to interact with videos so I can see you in another video.